you can see that most of the downspout is dumping next to the patio, not on the patio. And so all the water is going next to the foundation. Now this room here is very musty. It's really pretty nasty. I'm not even gonna go in there because I'm freaking out. Hello, I'm here in sunny California, and I'm going to talk about site grading today. So when you're looking at a house, whether it's to buy, to rent, or it's your own house, and you want to know if there's any problems, you want to look at the site and the grade around your house really closely. So we're going to look at this house right here across the street from it. So we're on a really big hill, you can see behind me, and this is the house I'm going to be looking at. And we're pretty much at the top of the hill, not quite. There's a little bit more, if I look behind me this way, a little bit more uphill there. But it's good to be near the top of a hill. In this case, this side I'm not too worried about because it's downhill and all the ground is sloping that way. So the neighbor below there, the house below there, needs to be worried about all this water coming down. But generally this has a good site for drainage there. And you can see these downspouts are coming out of... there's actually a pipe over here that is letting the water of the downspouts come out. That's good. There's good drainage next to the road. And then we go up the hill here, and you can see that it's a little bit more flat right at this house. And actually, I think this house is really one of the top ones on the hill, and the house next door seems to be a little bit lower. So that's a good thing. It is pretty flat, and it might be actually lower right at the foundation here. This is actually a fence, so that's not so concerning. But you want to look like this house where everything is sloping down towards a garage, towards a building. All those solid surfaces collect water, and they're going to pour water towards the building. So we want to manage that. There is something called a trench drain down there. That needs to be kept clear, and you just want to know that's working. So there are ways to manage all this, but just know about it. There is a lot of grass there and openings, so it's not completely solid. That's good, so water can get down there. Yeah, but it is kind of flat. But there are gutters, so that's good. So if that roof didn't have gutters and it was just dumping all that roof water right there next to the foundation, that would be a bad thing. This other area by this door is actually very low here. So now this goes to the backyard, and this is a fence really on this other side. This area is a fence. This is a house, but this is something to pay close attention to, that the drainage isn't as good right in this area. But that site on this side, I'm going to check around the other side and we'll see more things. Okay, now I'm on the back side of the building that we were looking at, front side on site planning. And so we're going to look at some things like this doorway. You can see if you look up, very little overhangs. See that? So it's not protected in any way. And there's my husband. And you can see there's a lot of rot around the base of this doorway. There. And then this corner in particular. Let's see back here. Right there is rotted out pretty bad. And that's really because the water is not being protected from above. And actually, the vent looks pretty nasty up there. You can see that, which is a sign that the air is probably pretty nasty in the attic too. Oof. Otherwise, the Ciecko isn't too bad here. The downspouts, we want to look at those, and you can see where the water runs on this one. It's not in a pipe, but it is running down the patio, and it's got a pretty good slope. It comes over here to a drain, which is here, right there. Let's see, right there, and that clogs. Apparently, it makes a little boat. It makes a little pond out here. That's not good. So you want to always keep that clear. Let's see what else we have out here. So in theory, by code and by good practice, there should actually be a weep screed at the base of all the stucco, and so it shouldn't just come to the base of a patio. There should be a gap. Another downspout right there that is, you can see the path of water on the patio. So some of the water is coming on the patio, but if we look at it more closely there, you can see that most of the downspout is dumping next to the patio, not on the patio. And so all the water, actually there's a hole there. So there might have been a pipe there. All the water is going next to the foundation. Now this room here is very musty. It's really pretty nasty. I'm not even gonna go in there because I'm freaking out. So that's a concern. I have some concerns about that balcony up there. I can't see how it's put together, but balconies do fail and people fall off of balconies and they can get very, really seriously injured. So like I said before, I mean, you have, even if it's steel or concrete, it can degrade. Wood obviously degrades as well. So this though is a really huge issue. We're gonna fix that today. But you can see the slope of the ground from behind me is also sloping in this direction towards this corner. So I suspect that this corner is taking on a ton of water, and this might be the source, the biggest source anyway, that might make a noticeable impact on the mustiness in that space. Now that space has carpeting on it, and so the carpet traps moisture below the carpet pad, and I really don't think that carpet's salvageable, but we're gonna do something to fix this because there is good drainage here. So look, it's a big hill back here. So we just need to get that water from that downspout to go down that hill over there, or even there's another hill over here or over here. So we're gonna work on that. But that's what I see outside here. Otherwise it's not that bad. It's too bad that that's such a big item. Okay, I showed the downspouts being kind of flooding the foundation, which is not a good thing and we never want to have. So we went to the local hardware store, which is not big, and they had these pieces. This didn't have a curved end. It was just, and you can see the water would just dump on the wall and in the corner. So we're just using the pieces that we bought, not really knowing what we needed when we bought them at the hardware store. And so ideally you would extend this further down and then go on an angle, but we don't have that kind of a piece and we don't want to go back to the store and buy more stuff. And we're going to put that bucket under it to support it, and it just need to get the water away from the wall. So we don't need to run a long pipe here. We just need the water not to dump on the wall. Now, how much is that contributing to a problem here? It's hard to say. It's never a good thing. We're just going to leave it at that. Now, this is all premised on the fact that their gutters actually work and that they're not clogged with leaves or branches. And so that's, you know, something that people have to pay attention to. There are no guards and there are a lot of branches. So someone has to pay attention to if it's raining, are these things even working? Or is the water actually overflowing from the gutter? And then that would contribute to a lot of problems and almost be like not having a gutter. So, and then this was the other side behind the gate that we saw from the front. And this doorway is not, see, it has a little canopy over it, and the door is in a lot better shape. And the sill is rotted. They actually have some good details up there, to be honest, to get the water even from the wall to not go into that opening. So there were some things that were done very good quality here. Unfortunately, it hasn't been maintained, and so that's what happens if things don't get maintained. So even if they're designed properly, maintenance is so critical. So that's some site planning things or tips, and we're gonna move that downspout and add an addition to it so it drains away. Don't forget to check out my videos and my courses to learn more about topics like this.
If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. For more free information on safe building, avoiding mold, and water damage, visit avoidingmold.com.